Haikanashi.
Hello everyone, welcome to Day Trade Options. Had another green day, don't know how, shouldn't have had it. It's crazy, 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 crazy. Oh man, what a wild ride today. And man, like my thumbnail says, I think I lost my mind today. Just, or my title. I went so heavy on some of these trades today that I don't know that I'm going to do that again. Could have been bad, but I think it made me trade a little differently than normal. So that's something to get used to when you scale up. I am going to go through this really quick. It's late for me. I was out late, and so I'm going to go through this quick. Sorry for the late video, but anyhow, I decided to go ahead and put one together. What first trade is PLTR, so I'm going to go through them pretty quickly. Let me see if this is the right one. Yes, I already have them set up right here. So PLTR, just poor trade by me today. Good execution, or good entry, poor execution. So right out of the gates, talking to the guys, had everybody going in the Discord. Man, we were just having a great morning. Had many good great trades today, a lot of profits. For me, I just had poor execution. Discussed early on, we know we had earnings coming in for Nvidia, which could definitely, it always has issues, it causes issues in the market, choppiness or whatever. So right away I said, hey, let's be be careful, pay attention to what we're doing. Let's just make smart trades, get in, get out, take our profits. Well, if only I listened to myself, that would have made for a less stressful day, that's for darn sure. So right out of the gates, got in 20 calls on a PLTR. Looked beautiful, man. Look at this. Exactly what I want to see. Pre-market comes down, busts off of an LRC, gets up through the 20, up through the 200. I got in, this shows it there. I actually got in on this candle here. What I typically do, wait for a close and then enter on the candle above the close, or the move above close. So I got in that candle, 20 calls. I should have exited on my red LRC, or at least should have scaled out. I didn't do any of that. I just held this thing. That's not how I trade. You guys know it. I always scale out to my LRC levels just to lock in profit. I didn't. I don't know why. I even went back. I was like, am I sure I didn't at least take something off? Yep. I went back and looked at over all my trades completely, and nope, I did not. I did not scale out. It looks like my volume is really high on my mic, so let me know if that's really loud. I tried to boost it a little so to try to help. Anyhow, I didn't scale out. I did end up adding 10 more calls right here because I was like, okay, it came down. My exit's going to be the 200. It wicked up, pushed up off the 200, kind of went both ways, so I wasn't real sure. However, it went up. I normally don't enter on this one. For whatever reason, I entered 10 on this. Normally, it would have been this one, but either way, I would have entered right in that area in any case, but I actually entered early, or re-entered, or added. And then I added again right here. So I had this push down, It bought back up. It did close here, but my next candle pushed above the 20 and 200 again. So I said, okay, it's getting ready. It's setting up to go. I thought, okay, this was going to be its push to get to a new high. Nope. I ended up selling here for a $785 loss. So that was a bummer right out of the gates. My other trades were around the same time, but that stunk. So 700 loss. I did do something I don't normally do, but I'll show you why I did it. Because I respect my long LRC so much. This is what happened. This is one of my long LRC levels. And when I go back and look at PLTR, every time it hits that level, man, it has just moved the other direction. So when I noticed that it had these really strong candles coming down, boom, 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 all of a sudden, bam, big green candle. I was like, okay, if this candle moves up, I'm getting in. Even though I was trading against my 20 and 200 rules, I decided to get in. So I did. I got in 40 calls on this. I was actually going to scale. Once again, I don't know, maybe I was all over the place talking or whatever today. I did not scale out. I should have scaled at the LRC, should have scaled at the 200. Always scale at the 200, guys, because you usually get some sort of a hold up or rejection. It's best to lock in profit. So I didn't. I did add 20 more calls here. I was crazy today. 40, 20, I was in 60. Oh, sorry. 40 calls. I did that wrong. Yeah, added 20 calls. Scaled 40 at this push. So I stayed in it. It pulled back. I didn't hop out. I trusted my levels again. Thank goodness I didn't fail again. But I really like whenever you see this is what I talk about when you see in my videos, or when we're in the Discord, I'll say, hey guys, just wait for structure break or watch. This is what I mean. Once you have a structure break, even though you have a pullback through it, no big deal. You just just be patient, see if you're going to get through it, which is what I did. So I scaled out 40 here, and then I exited for a $1,150 profit overall. So this was a much better gain because I had to make up 785, but I ended with 1150 total. That's net. That's after I wiped out my 785. So that turned out great. I was happy with that. But I did have a few other losses. Let me show you every trade today. SMCI. This one just didn't go. It looked good. Hey Trauma, hey man. Enjoyed you today, man. It's gonna be fun. Sorry for it being so late. I literally had to wait for my my meds to kick out. I was in so much pain I could barely breathe. But I'm doing okay right now. It's just a pinched nerve that I did not know it could feel so bad. Oh boy. So anyhow, I entered calls right at the break like I normally do, right here. Got in here, held, and I exited for a $335 loss. Not very eventful. Didn't get back in. I showed this because I wanted to show you guys what would have been a fantastic trade later in the day that I didn't see. Is this long LRC line right here. This is one of my main ones right here. So you can see that it was respected. It was respected, and also the red. Both of them together. This is just something for you guys if you're trading this not in the group, and you've got all the, or you're trying to follow what I do, or even trying to add on to it, whatever. Just if you see this happening, man, just be prepared. This happens a lot later parts of the day, and then once you get this release below, it's off to the races, and that would have been an easy great trade. So I didn't get it, I didn't trade then, but would have been great. Just wanted to point out the that scenario. Also, TSM. Uh, TSM, that one was I ended with a $100 loss because I accidentally sold too soon. I sold all my shares or my contracts, but that's okay. I got in here. Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I didn't get in here. I wanted to point this out to you guys. I was in other trades, so I didn't see this happening. This would have been the aggressive normal trade that I would get in right here. You break above your levels, you pull back, you test the 200, you come above, green above, enter. The more conservative, I think the most probable trade is, or a higher probability, is waiting for a structure break. That way you know you have a nice change in direction. You're going to continue. You could have entered here or here. Either way, traded up to your target level, had a decent profit. But I did enter, and I got a little faked out here because I had a line drawn, and it literally just barely broke over. So I was like, hey, I'm getting in. This is going to be I'm getting in a breakout trade over consolidation. Well, as soon as I got in, well, it kind of came back down on me. I was in drawdown, and then I ended up exiting right here. This was my actual trade, and I can't remember what it was a pretty decent loss. I can't remember what my loss was on this one, and I didn't go back and add it up. But anyway, it was a pretty decent loss. I wasn't in super heavy on this TSM trade, but it was still a decent loss. Well, I got back in here, once again, set right back up, came down to the LRC, kicked up just like I like to see it. Had when this moved over, it was green. It ended red, but it was green, so I always take the trade when it passes over my close. And I held it, and I meant to scale out here, but I sold all, and I ended up with a $100 loss overall on the day, so or on this trade. So that was my another loss. But I made up all my losses on a couple really crazy big trades. I think I truly lost my mind today. So anyway, I got in 5 SPX calls here. Yeah, yeah. It was. I mean, you know what? You have to be, like I try to tell everyone, you have to be willing to lose what you're willing to lose, and then I think then you can just be relaxed and trade. When I used to trade and was so concerned and so worried about my loss, I was so stressed, and I just could not. Um, it made me trade poorly. It really did. My emotions were all, into it. Now I'm just like, this is my. I have rules, and try to stick to them. Not always, but so I got in 5 SPX calls here. I'm trying to run through this pretty quick. If you didn't see, I'm late, and I've got to hit the sack here in a minute. So I got in 5 SPX calls. I scaled 3 when it hit 598. You probably remember some of these. I scaled 1 when it came up close to my yellow LRC. Yeah. What stressed out on that one? Trauma? Was it at 9:30? Oh, when we first got in? Oh, you mean in the morning when market opened? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was traumas. Was it 9:30? I don't know what you're asking. What was what 9:30, Joe? So anyway, I'll continue talking, and then you can type. But I scaled out 1 at the push up to the yellow just to lock in some profit, and then 4 I exited the last one for a $1,260 profit. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh man, that I'll have to pull that up. That was what a bummer that I missed that one. That was such a clean, easy trade. I don't even recall even seeing any reds for a long time. Any red candles. And then so I actually got into another SPX, came down, came down, came down. I was watching how this was reacting here, and I did have this one little push. This came down to my 20, strong move up, had a little push over, so I entered like I normally do when it crossed. Instantly went all the way down into drawdown once again, but I trusted the 20, and I exited up here for, it wasn't a lot, but it was $360. So good trade overall. I mean, this was what, $1,720 for the SPX. So that helped me out a ton on my losses. Now here's the crazy one. So this is where this is not normal trauma. Yeah, I haven't gotten this heavy before. Well, maybe a while back, but this was crazy today. I really thought this push right here, I missed this move. So we others watching, yeah, it's tough sometimes, but you'll find out that if you do, it pays off. I missed this move. And so we were talking in the group. I was like, "Hey, man, if this comes up to the 20 and pushes and comes back down, I'm getting in." It did exactly what I wanted. I entered right at the red candle break of the second or the first red, and I entered 20 puts. It pulled up. I was in pretty good. I don't remember the amount that I was down, but I was down a decent amount. But because I got a red candle and then another red candle, I saw this red candle here, and I was like, well, my exit's going to be above this anyway, so I may as well add. So that's what I did. I added 10 more puts. I got this nice push down below the 20 EMA. I added 20 more puts. And then I had this push down. I decided to just ease out of it. I don't know if you recall me saying that I was like, I'm going to de-risk some because I was like, getting a little crazy here. I'm in 50 puts. So I de-risked 20. I was in 30. And then I held and held and held and was expecting to get the move. And then I got this nasty death candle. And as it was going up, I hit sell. I don't know where in this candle it sold. It could have been close to the top. Honestly, I don't know where it finally took my sell because it was going so fast. But I ended up with a $3,800 loss overall on this trade. So that was a bummer. So at this point, I was in the red for sure. But then I had this setup. I ended up getting in on this push down here. I got in 40 puts. I was going to have a much shorter lease, though. I wasn't going to take it away or let it get too far away from me, but I got back into 40. Yeah, I know. And then that's what I said. This is not normal at all. So normally I'm in 5, maybe 10, not usually that high. I then got back into 40. I added 10 on this break of this level right here. I really like that. I scaled out 20. I took off another 20, and I sold my last 5, and I ended up with an overall $2,330 profit. So I wiped out $3,800 and ended with $2,300. So what really hurts the soul is if I had never done this, you could add that 3,800 to this, and that's what my profit would have been. So that's kind of a major bummer. Although I'm very happy, my day ended very well. But I had some dumb trades today. I did not scale out when I should have. I didn't take profit when I should have. So that's something I have to work on, getting better at that. But overall, crazy. Yes. Yeah. Just this trade alone. The SPX trades were just, man, those were simple. Yeah. I mean, I followed basically, when you get a candle like this, what are you going to do? You know what the funny thing is honestly, hindsight trauma even though I was down $3,800, you could almost call it a FOMO situation where I just got out. Of course, I didn't want to see it go any more because that's a huge loss, right? That would have been the biggest loss. Well, that was the biggest loss I've had in a very long time. But it's the highest number of contracts I've been in, that high of a cost that I've been in a long time. But in reality, this is true. I mean, this is the thing. I was looking at it earlier, 302. I should have waited for a close over that in continuation. I was still below my 200, still below the 302 level. And if I had never got out of these, I would have never had a loss. I don't know how much I would have ended up making. Probably would have ended up selling for, being happy and selling it at break even. I don't know how that would have worked, but how much each tick will be cent wise before you buy. Oh, well, let's see. When you're buying contracts, if it's a $4, let's just say that at the money it's $4 per contract. If you buy 10 of those, that's $400. If it's if your cost is yeah, I mean I'm sorry, if you buy if it's $4 and you buy um golly, I can't even think of what I'm trying to say. The meds got me. Um, so I just do it. I'm sorry. I think I'm answering your question. I don't, maybe not. It's based off of, I just look at like what the amount is at the money. So here, let me go to I'll go jeez. All of these things are up. Okay, here we go. I'll go to Meta and then I'll pull up the options chain. So if it's 695, if I just buy one, that's $600. So if I buy 10, that's $6,000. Um, so that's how you know, like how I know what my cost is going to be. But of course, if you have to have a big enough account to be able to buy a lot, and that's the only reason I've been doing that because I've grown my account quite a bit. So I was able to buy a lot, which I'm not going to be doing that anymore. I don't think that was a little bit stressful, trading that way. But the I think I may have answered your question. I'm not sure. Um, but this was such a beautiful trade. Going back to what you said about the meta, um, just how good this was. You got in the meta, but you didn't stay in. Is that correct? I don't know if you. But yeah, this one that like I do this a lot, so you're just gonna, you'll laugh about it. I call out some of the best trades and I miss some of the best trades. I call them out for everyone. I get everybody set up. I'm like, hey, this is what's going on. Pay attention. We got the consolidation. If it breaks, get in it. And then I don't get in it. And then you get this just absolute beautiful move. For me, scaling out here or taking profit here is great. I don't like trying to hold through all this just to get some small scraps, but some people do, like they try to get it all the way to, as high up as they can. But anyway, um oh the oh okay. Yeah. Sorry, your comments were just popped up. The That's the only one you made money on was the meta trade. That was such a good trade. Yeah, I mean, you've seen my videos. The best way to trade is just you have to trust the levels. And I would suggest if you've never done this or anybody watching this stream, if you don't have to have any of the other indicators. Just go put a 20 and 200 on your charts. Get on the 2 minute time frame, and then just go back and back test and pay attention to. And that's actually what I did to set up my rule set for how I wanted to enter and exit and trade pullbacks. Is I just went back and looked at it over just so many times, thousands of charts, and they all would just do the same thing on a 2 minute. You get your pullback, you re-enter, pullback, re-enter. You can just rinse and repeat all day long, or don't ever get out and stay in until you have two closes under. I found to be two closes under the 20 EMA was the two consecutive closes under the 20 EMA was the best way to get the most out of the majority of your trades. Sometimes you give back too much because, maybe the 20 is very extended. Like in this case, it's really extended. That would be giving a lot of your profit back. That's why that's why I came back to that's why I came up with like the more conservative trade with the 20 EMA as far as getting out or exiting. I would trade is if I started getting extended from the 20, and if I realize like if I come back to the 20, I'm going to give back way too much or more than I want to. I would exit on the second red and then just wait and see if it comes back and pulls back and I get another green, and then I re-enter. So I'll do that a lot as well. I didn't do that any today. Today was a kind of a crazy day. It was a fun day. I'm not gonna lie. I think we had a good time. There was a lot of profits again made today, so we're gonna just keep on keeping on. It's exciting. It's fun. We have a really good group. I really to me, I just I look forward to it every day, so it's pretty cool. But I don't mean to cut it short. I appreciate you guys coming by. I'll see you in the morning, hopefully, Trauma, in the server. And I'm going to hit the sack. So you guys have a great night. I hope everybody was green. If anyone else is interested, the link is in the description. And please hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. You guys have a great evening. Take care.